What's going on, YouTube family? It's your man Pristine, back with another video. Welcome to the unboxing and first initial thoughts and impressions for the Motorola Edge Plus 2022. Let's dive right into this thing. Now, those of you that are kind of on the fence about the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro, you know, with all the issues that they've been having, you know, with the updates and, you know, things not functioning properly, you know, you may want to pay attention. I understand, you know, the OnePlus 10 Pro just dropped yesterday as well. You know, today being what? Today is the 15th of April. Yeah, I know that the OnePlus 10 Pro dropped yesterday. That is out as well. But Motorola has dropped yet another flagship to compete. And the Moto Edge 2020, the Moto Edge Plus 2020 rather, was actually my favorite phone of 2020. I thought that phone was majorly slept on. It was the first time that Motorola had did a flagship device in a while, mainly focusing on their budget lineup, you know, with the G series, and then they had the Moto Z Play, and you know, the Moto Z. It went from flagship, and then they kind of converted it to mid-range, and they had the Moto mods or whatnot. And so this device right here, the Edge Plus 2022, is the follow-up to the Moto Edge Plus of 2020. All right, now without further ado, let's dive right in. The price, $999. Okay, now if you get this, I bought this at Best Buy, and this device is completely unlocked. It's fully unlocked for every carrier imaginable. Okay, it doesn't matter who your carrier is, this phone is fully unlocked and it will support it. All right, now like I said, the initial price is $999. Again, this is a flagship. It's got all the flagship specifications of 2022, so you can expect there to be a premium price tag. Now, last week when I bought this thing, Best Buy had a promotion where, you know, when you buy it, you get $100 off. And so, you know, making it $899, which I think is, you know, a pretty sweet deal. If you have an opportunity to, you know, undercut some of the other flagships in similar price ranges, then definitely do that. All right. Now, we've got a 6.7-inch 1080 by 2400 pixel OLED HDR plus 144 hertz refresh rate display. We've got a PPI pixel density of 393. We've got a 20:9 aspect ratio with an 88.5 screen to body ratio with a 700 nits max brightness. All right, now the internal specifications, we've got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 4nm chipset. We've got an octa-core CPU. We've got an Adreno 730 GPU. We've got 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, no SD card slot for memory expansion, but 512 should do you just right. You know, that's a lot of storage. We are running Android 12, running over MyUX UI, which is Motorola's user interface. Now, here's where things really start to get interesting, because I know that there's, you know, several phones that have this similar spec sheet. Right now, the cameras on the rear, we've got a triple cam setup. We've got a 50 megapixel wide lens, a 50 megapixel depth ultra wide lens with a 114-degree field of view. We've got a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and these are featuring PDAF, optical image stabilization, dual tone LED flash, HDR, face detection, autofocus, and gyro electronic image stabilization. We do have 8K recording at 24 frames per second, 4K recording at 30 frames per second, 1080p recording at 30, 60, 120, and 240 frames per second. Now, the selfie camera, 60 megapixels. Okay, marinate on that for a minute. The selfie camera, 60 megapixels, 60. All right, we got a 60 megapixel selfie camera. This is a wide lens featuring HDR. We have 4K recording at 30 FPS, 1080p recording at 30 and 120 FPS. All right, now we've got a 4800 milliamp hour non-removable battery. Of course, we've got a Type-C USB connector 3.1. USB on the go is what Motorola slash Lenovo, or Lenovo Motorola rather, Lenovo, they own Motorola. USB on the go is what they consider their fast charging. There is a 30-watt fast charger that is included in the box, which, and you can tell by the thickness of the box, I mean, we don't see boxes like this too much anymore. So it's definitely refreshing that charging brick comes in the box. Now we've got 15-watt wireless charging, 5-watt power share, reverse wireless charging, and we've got 68-watt charging capable. But that's going to be a separate brick that you're going to have to buy. But the 30-watt charger comes in the box, but it's capable of charging with a 68-watt charger, which is absolutely insane. You're talking about super fast charging speeds, but that is going to be a separate accessory that you will have to go and pick up on your own. All right, now the colors that you can get this in is Cosmos Blue, which is what this is, and then you got Stardust White, which looks like a silver color, and I really wanted to get that color, but it wasn't available at the time. And I was just stoked to get my hands on the device because like I said, I mean, the Moto Edge Plus 2020 was my favorite device of 2020, and so this being the follow-up to that, I was like, I don't care what color I get, just get it in my hands. All right, and here it is. So now, additional features, we've got Bluetooth 5.2, we've got a fingerprint scanner that is side mounted. We've got dual stereo speakers, NFC, always on display. We have Ready For, which Ready For is Motorola's, how can I put this? You know how Samsung, they've got DeX. And it's like, you plug the phone to the computer and utilizing DeX, you basically can, control, your phone, but on a computer type experience. Well, what Ready For is something similar, but it's actually a little bit more robust than what Samsung DeX is offering. So we have Ready For featured here. We got Face Unlock. We got Think Shield mobile security. This phone is also stylus ready. And so I believe that there's going to be like a case with a stylus that's going to, have like a slot to stick the stylus in, kind of like with the S21 Ultra, how it was S Pen compatible, but it did not come with an S Pen, but yet you can buy a case that you can put the S21 Ultra in that housed an S Pen. Well, with the Moto Edge 2022, you're going to be able to utilize an S Pen type stylus very similarly, and you can get a case, or I believe they're either going to sell the case with the or with the stylus that is specific to this, or you can buy the stylus separately, but it's like you're gonna have to carry it separately, so it's like why not buy it with the case that it comes along with, so that you can put the phone in the case and then keep the stylus with it to navigate your device. But we do have that capability with the Moto Edge 2020, the Moto Edge Plus rather, 2022. All right, we've got IP52 water resistance. I mean, so this phone, it's water resistant. It's not waterproof. You cannot submerge this device without damage. But, if you take it out in the rain and you get some drops on it, or you spill a drink or whatever, as long as you get to it quickly and wipe it off, clean it off, you should be good to go. But this phone does not have an IP rating to where you could submerge, say what you could with a phone that had maybe an IP67 or IP68, IP rating. Okay, so IP52, okay? And we do have Dolby Atmos, I mean, so you can customize that sound. Now, as far as the body is concerned, we've got 2.5D, what is this, Gorilla Glass 3 with a plastic frame, and then 3D Gorilla Glass 5 on the rear, okay? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is it as far as the specifications for the new Moto Edge 2022. Okay, so now again, typical box here, as I mentioned, we got the charging brick and all the goodness inside the box, which is why the box is so thick. And like I said, we typically don't see boxes like this anymore from the major players like Apple, Samsung, OnePlus. I'm sorry, not OnePlus, but Google. With the Pixel. So yeah, let's let's dive into this thing here. All right. So now here's the Edge Plus 2022. sitting right there on top. And let's see. All right, there we go. Make sure I don't drop this joint. Boom. Okay, here is the device. Wow, feels good in the hand. Wow, look at that. That frosted glass, that looks absolutely beautiful. I love the way the color looks when that light hits it. Again, this is Cosmos Blue. You can see that camera array right there. The Motorola logo right there, which I'm pretty sure some people may think that that is a fingerprint sensor, but it is not. I actually kind of miss the fingerprint sensors being on the back, and so I wouldn't actually mind if that was the fingerprint sensor, but I know that they're either side mounted or under the display. But ladies and gentlemen, here is the device, and let's go ahead and power it on. Pretty sure we got some juice here. Okay, so you can see that Motorola. Interestingly enough, the power button does not have any rigidity. You can see that right there. Now, of course, it's not as long as the volume rocker that sits right above it. But I would have thought, hello Moto, you know, I would have thought that there would have been some rigidity on the power button. I mean, not really a big deal, but I know on previous Motorola devices that I've had, the power button did have some rigidity, so you can easily distinguish the power button from the volume rocker. Okay, not a big deal. You know, okay, we'll come back to the device here in a second. Place that down and let's see what else we got in the box here. All right, so this is going to be the SIM pin and all of the literature. We've got the Moto Edge Plus, or Meet Your Moto Edge Plus. It's just taking you on a little bit of a tour so you can understand your device. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the SIM ejection tool that comes along with the device. I thought there may have been a case in here, but I was sadly mistaken. So here we've got Type C to Type C for the power cord. And then here, ladies and gentlemen, is that 30-watt charging brick. Wow, isn't it refreshing to see one of these? We have Type C there. I don't know how to act really, because I haven't seen one of these in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Motorola for, you know, sticking that in the box for us. Much appreciated. All right, now let's get back to the device itself. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Again, 6.7 inches corner to corner. You know, there at the top is our little hole punch camera right there, which is the 60 megapixel sensor. You can see we've got the ear receiver right above that. There's a very thin little slit right there that you can see in the glare. And then the other speaker is bottom firing right here on the bottom. Now let's take a quick hardware tour. Again, screen corner to corner, 6.7 inches to the right of the device. We've got the power button right here. We've got the volume rocker that sits right above that. On the top of the device, we've got a little noise canceling microphone right there. If you guys can check that out right there in the glare. And that is all that we've got at the top. On the left side of the device, we've got, it's pretty clean. There's no antenna lines or anything like that. Bottom, here is the SIM tray. Here is the Type-C port for charging. Here's another noise canceling mic, bottom firing speaker. And then on the rear of the device, again, God, this is just absolutely beautiful. This, I mean, the way it feels, it doesn't seem as though it's going to be that much of a fingerprint magnet, you know, as far as like, you know, touching it. I like that. It looks like a frosted glass kind of. And again, just that Cosmos blue, the way the light shines on the phone and just seeing that's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the cosmetic hardware tour. Now, look, I'm gonna pause the video for a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set up and get to the desktop, and I'll be right back with you, and we'll browse through the OS, get into the settings a little bit, look at some of the features and functions of the new Moto Edge 2022, check out the cameras, and then I'll close the video out. All right? All right. All right, y'all, we are back in. Welcome to the desktop of the Moto Edge 2022. Pardon me, the Moto Edge Plus, rather. So there is a Moto Edge. There was a 2021 variant that came out, and that was more of a budget offering. And yeah, it wasn't quite what I was expecting, because I thought that it was the the successor to the Moto Edge Plus. And so I didn't hang on to that device very long, and that's actually one of the reasons why you didn't see a full pristine review. I know that I did the unboxing video, and I didn't realize until after I did the unboxing that, wait a minute, this isn't the true successor to the Edge Plus, and that was what I was looking for. And so I was a little disappointed by that device, and I just didn't even bother hanging on to it. So here we are. This is the true successor to the Moto Edge Plus, the 2020 variant. I gotta say, just, you know, playing with this phone for a bit, I mean, this display is just polarizing. You know, this display is absolutely marvelous. Again, it is a 1080p display, but it is an OLED HDR10 plus 144 hertz refresh rate display. Okay, and it is this phone is a beast. And you can see another good thing that I like about Motorola too is, you know, I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to cell phones, especially when it comes to the user interfaces. Now, One UI with Samsung is definitely, I think, my favorite user interface, just because of the customizability and just it has so much, right? It's such a robust offering of features and functions and things that you can tweak and change and customize, right? But every now and again, I do like just a bare-boned stock Android type of experience. And so I think that besides the Pixel, the Moto Edge Plus 2022 is probably going to be the closest thing that you're going to get to just a pure, you know, true stock Android experience. And what I mean by that is, I mean, going to the apps here, I mean, these are the only apps that come pre-installed on the device. It's the full Google suite. There's not a lot of bloatware. The only bloat that you've got here is under the Motorola apps. You've got device help, games, Moto. What is this? This is Motorola. Okay, yeah, this is their help. And you got screen recorder. That's about, oh, and TikTok, which I'm going to erase that because I don't have TikTok. But besides that, Dolby Atmos, which, you know, we do have Dolby Atmos featured here. I mean, so you have the ability to customize your sound to your liking. So that is definitely a thumbs up for me, because I'm definitely quite the music buff. And yo, I mean, Dolby Atmos, you know, DTS, aptX, either one of those, just whatever custom audio customizations that are available for me, the better. And so I appreciate the fact that Dolby Atmos is present. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, fresh out of the box, I mean, you're getting pretty much a near stock Android experience. I mean, like I said, I mean, this is the fully unlocked variant. I mean, you can get this at carriers. This phone is sold exclusively at Verizon. And so I'm pretty sure if you get the Verizon version, then there's going to be Verizon applications pretty much all throughout that phone. But this being the stock version, got it from Best Buy, or the fully unlocked version, these are the only apps that are on the device. All right, that's it. And so if you pop into the settings and we start talking about, where are we at? Storage. So it says 4% of storage is used, and that's just all the pre-installed applications, right? All the pre-installed applications, it's only taking up 4% of that 512 gigs, which means that I've got 491 gigabytes free. Okay, so the phone is being advertised as 512 gigs, 4% is being used, and so out of the box, you're getting 491 gigabytes free. Now, mind you, this phone does not have an SD card slot. I mean, so, you know, 491 out the box is what you get. For me, that is more than enough storage. I mean, I rock with devices that are 64 gig variants just because I don't put a bunch of stuff on my devices, and that's just for me. I know that may not be a lot for a lot of you out there, but 491 gigs, I mean, yeah, you got a lot of room to play around with this device. All right, so yeah, like I said, I mean, Android 12, fresh out of the box. It looks just like the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. You know, same type of layout here, Android 12. You know, these are our quick toggles. You can see we've got a whole list of them: internet, Bluetooth, Dolby Atmos, location, device control, system update, NFC, dark mode, do not disturb, auto rotate, GPay, ready for, flashlight, airplane mode, hotspot, nearby share. You got alarm, battery saver, nightlife, screencast, screen record, mic access available, camera access available, power sharing, gift maker, and then share feedback. Now, if you want to toggle these, I mean, you got a whole nother list. If you just hit that little pin icon, which is the edit button, you got a whole list of quick toggles that you can utilize. And what you do is you just long press and then just drag it up, and it's going to become a part of, you know, your quick toggles menu. Okay, so yeah, you see you got a pretty, you know, robust offering of quick toggles right there. Here's your power button right here if you want to power off the device, and if you want to access settings, you hit that and that's going to take you right to your settings. Okay, now really quickly, just want to do a quick little test of, so we have facial recognition and we have the fingerprint sensor. Now the fingerprint sensor is on the power button right here to the left of the device. You just simply, oh, it's my thumb that I used. Okay, so let's see. Boom, and it works, and it's super quick. Okay. Tap it, and it just opens right up. Now, let's test the facial recognition. Come on, let's see. Boom. Okay, so as soon as it recognizes my face, it's open. I just have to tap it with a finger that's not registered for the fingerprint, or the fingerprint sensor will snap into action and unlock the device. So let's try that again, just for accuracy. So my left thumb isn't registered. Boom. As soon as it recognizes my face, it opens right up with no problem at all whatsoever. I mean, so it's good to see that we've got, you know, a couple of different biometric forms of securing our device. You know, I think that Apple should be sitting back, you know, taking notes. You know, this whole, you know, Touch ID on one device, Face ID on the other. You know, I think the iPhone 14 is supposed to rectify that issue, because I've been seeing some concepts, and the concept that I saw yesterday, and I took a screenshot of it. It showed an iPhone 14 without the notch, and you just got, like, it wasn't necessarily a hole punch, but it's not a notch, and you can see the little circles for the camera cutouts. But then on the lock screen, there was a little fingerprint indicator on the display. So, you know, indicating that the iPhone 14 is going to have an under the display fingerprint sensor. So, you know, we'll see, you know, later on in, you know, mid-September or early October, you know, when the new iPhones drop, if that is in fact going to be the reality. You know, we'll see, you know, what kind of, you know, rabbit that Apple is going to pull out of the hat at that point. But yeah, you know, you got a few different ways of securing your device, and so that's always a welcomed feature. You know, I appreciate that greatly. Now, let's, you know, pop into the settings, and again, just Android 12. I mean, you know, for the Android enthusiast or people that have been rocking with Android devices, this is going to look very familiar. But you know, we've network and internet connected devices. Well, let's see this. Because we do have NFC on this device, or I think I showed that on the quick toggles. Thought I did. Okay, but we do have NFC on this device, and where is it at? Because you can make it one of your quick toggles as well. There it is right there. Okay, so NFC is right there. Just wanted to show you guys that to clarify that we do have NFC on this device. It's in one of these settings, either network and internet or connected devices. Maybe it's in connected devices. All right, but apps, notifications, battery, storage, sound and vibration. Now here's another thing that I like, and this wasn't on previous Motorola devices. I talk about this on Samsung devices. I love the fact now, under the sound and vibration options, you got media volume, call volume, ring volume, notification volume. So the ring and the notification volumes are not consolidated, they're separate. That is huge to me. Why? Because sometimes I just want to be able to toggle the volume of my ringtone and not mess with my notification tone volume, or I may want to, toggle the volume of my notification tone and not mess with my ringtone volume. And so I like the fact that they, made that, separate so that we can toggle either one to our liking. And yeah, that is super solid. I mean, so I appreciate Motorola for doing that. Again, Dolby Atmos here. By default, it is on Smart Audio. And what that is Smart Audio identifies the content and performs automatic adjustments to deliver the best sound. So no matter what you're doing, if you're watching a video, if you're listening to music, what Smart Audio does is it takes that information and it's going to tweak the sound based on what it thinks that content should sound like. But then what it also does is it gives you the ability to customize it, because you can see the presets here. We got music, movie, game, and podcast. And you can see the little pin icon. You can see the little pin icon right there. All right, y'all, my apologies for the interruption. So back to what I was saying. So with the Dolby Atmos, you've got these presets here. You've got Smart Audio, which again, it automatically, detects the content that you're, checking out, and it will fine tune the audio based on what it thinks that audio should sound like. And then we have these other presets. We've got music, movie, game, and podcast. And you can see we got these little pin icons, which stands for edit. And so you can go in, and if you click on that preset and you don't like the way that it sounds, then you can customize it to your liking. And it says choose an equalizer preset to enhance your sound. Got it? Then it says surround sound from any set of headphones or stereo speakers. Set the switch on or off to control the surround sound effect. Okay, got it. Then it says the volume leveler provides a consistent volume across all content and applications based on the master volume level of this device. Set the switch on or off to control automatic volume leveling. Okay, got it. And now you have the ability to vocal boost, bass boost, brilliant treble, surround virtualizer, volume leveler. Okay, and this is under the flat preset. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it on Smart Audio for now. That's what it's set on for default. But yeah, I think that's a really, really, really cool feature to have. And so now scrolling back to sound and vibrations, you've got Crystal Talk AI, which what that is multi-volume, lets you control the individual volumes of multiple apps. Well, yeah, that's what multi-volume is. I meant to hit Crystal Talk AI, and that just reduces the background noise for clearer speech. And so like if you're listening to a podcast or something, or you're listening to someone talk, but there's noisiness, then what this does is it's going to minimize the noise in the background so that you can focus in on what the person is saying. And it's going to make the voice, crystal clear, which is why it's called Crystal Talk AI. All right. And you can find that under sound and vibrations. And so we got multi-volume, phone ringtone, live caption, media, volume for calls, shortcut to prevent ringing, default notification sound, default alarm sound, and just all your typical, shenanigans, ongoing call vibration, screen locking sound, charging sounds, vibration, touch sounds, touch vibration, power on sound, pick up the silence. Now, what this is if your phone is ringing, if you want the ringtone to silence after you pick the phone up, then you can turn on that option. And then we got flip for do not disturb. And so all that is just put your phone face down and the phone is in do not disturb mode. Okay. And so you're going to find that under sound and vibration. Okay. Then you got media controls. This is where go to the next or previous track when the screen is off. Press and hold the volume up or down key. So that's pretty slick. So like say if you're in your car and you got your stereo hooked to Bluetooth, but say you don't have the ability to change the track on like your navigation screen or from the steering wheel, then rather than having to take your eyes off the road to look at your phone to change the track, you can just change the track with the volume button. And so the volume button up is going to the next track. The volume button down is going to the previous track. All right, so that's what that does. That's pretty dope. All right, now we'll get out of that. And now we'll go to display. So of course we got brightness level, adaptive brightness, which I always keep off. lock screen, screen timeout, dark theme font size, display size, night light, colors. Now let's pop into colors. So you've got two options. You've got natural and you've got saturated. Natural is optimized color based on screen content. Saturated is enhanced color saturation for a vivid display. Okay, you do have the ability to change the color temperatures to warm or cool. We don't have the ability to change the RGB to my knowledge. If you change it to natural, you still have the ability to toggle, you know, the warm versus the cool, but no RGB toggling. Okay, not really a big deal to me. Saturated is what it's on by default. I like that saturated look. I like things to pop and to be a little, you know, saturated a bit. Makes the colors a little bit brighter. So yeah, I'll just keep it unsaturated for me. That works for me. All right. Display refresh rate. Okay, so we've got auto 60 hertz, 144 hertz. Now, auto, use AI to always show the optimal refresh rate. 60 hertz, less smooth, but ideal for longer battery life, as we know. And then 144 hertz is smoothest, but consumes more battery. So it's on auto by default. I would recommend just keeping it on auto. But I mean, you know, if you're in trouble battery wise, then you definitely want to switch that down to 60. Now things are going to look choppy. They're not going to be as smooth as 120 or 144 or even a 90 hertz refresh rate. But it should give you that battery sustainability that you're looking for. You know, hopefully this device has a 4,800 milliamp hour battery. So hopefully you won't run into those kind of issues. But if you do, then scaling down that refresh rate is something that you're going to want to do to help conserve your battery life. All right. Auto screen rotate flicker prevention. What that is keep the screen from flickering in dark environments. Turning this on may cause screen noise and color distortion. So I'll say turn that on at your own risk. All right. We got full screen, which is just basically telling the device to open all applications pretty much, or the device or the apps of your choice to full screen. Sometimes applications aren't optimized for full screen, so you have to force it to do so. But then sometimes they say that the app may act up and stuff like that. So I guess that's another one of those things where it's like, okay, you know, turn that on at your own risk. I don't really mess with that. I haven't heard of people that do mess with it having too many issues. So we do, you know, have that option. Okay, screensaver, attentive display. Now what this is, you know, prevent the phone from going to sleep while you're looking at it. You know, so I typically keep my screen timeout time at 30 seconds. But that's just like if I'm looking at the phone doing something and then I put it down, I want it to go to sleep in 30 seconds. And a lot of times I'll just hit the lock key just to lock it down right then and there. But then sometimes it gets annoying because I'll be like reading content or something like that, and then the screen will start getting dim. And if I don't tap the screen again to make it light and wake it up, it's going to shut off, and I'm going to have to go through the process again of, you know, biometrically, you know, getting back into whatever it was that I was doing, and that can be an annoyance. And so what this is, if you turn attentive display on, then what it means is that the screen will never go to sleep as long as you are looking at the screen. Okay, so that is another useful tool for using this device. That's peak display. Oh, I'm sorry, attentive display. Peak display is just having the ability to look at notifications and things on the lock screen. Okay, and I will demonstrate that real quick. So this is peak display. Well, all right, well, I guess there's no notifications to show. Let's see, pick the phone up. Now see, this is peak display right here. So like I've got a notification, you swipe up, but of course, since I've got my biometrics set up, when I swipe up to go to any app just to look at the notification, it's gonna ask me for my PIN or my fingerprint or something to unlock it. Okay, but that's what that is. All right, then you got 3-finger screenshot. If you wanna take a screenshot, you just simply place 3 fingers on the screen, boom, and then you've got your options right there for what you would like to do with the screenshot. If you want to edit it, if you want to forward it, you know, share it, then you do your thing. But it's super simple. Just place 3 fingers on the screen and you got your screenshot. Okay, now swipe to split. If you want to, oops, that's ready for swipe to split. If you want to do 2 apps at the same time, you can just run your finger across the screen like that, and it's going to create a split screen, so you can have an app up top and a different app down at the bottom, and you can be multitasking, doing 2 different things at once. All right, now we got ready for. Now, as I mentioned, this is basically Motorola's variant of DeX, and I'll zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it a little closer. So it says ready for lets you share the power of your phone with nearby displays and PCs. By connecting your mobile device, you can share files, images, use your phone as a high resolution webcam, and more. In order to work, the Ready For app needs permission to access location and Bluetooth. All right, so go ahead and pan out of that. And so, like I said, I mean, you know, that's a play that Motorola decided to take out of Samsung's playbook, but I'm not mad at it. You know, it's some additional, you know, functionality, and if this is a feature that you'd like to use, then hey, you know, you've got the ability to do so. All right. So we got screen record, capture a video of your screen while it is in use, and then increase touch sensitivity. So we can find all those options under the display setting. And then of course we got wallpaper, accessibility, security, privacy, location, safety and emergency, passwords and accounts, digital well-being and parental controls, Google, system updates, rating and feedback, help, system, and about phone. Now, real quick too, let's go to accessibility real quick, and shout out to, man, I can't think of my man's name, but he gets with me in my comments on my videos, and he's made a couple of suggestions a couple of times about how important it is to talk about the accessibility features in a device, because those things too can be a contributing factor as to what device that someone may decide upon. And so I can't think of his name, but man, bro, if you tap into this video, man, much love. I appreciate you, bringing this to my attention, because this is a feature that oftentimes, or a setting that gets overlooked. And I actually don't ever hear any reviewers talking about this. But we got people out there that, are special needs, or they may be handicapped, to a certain degree in one way or another. And so the accessibility features on these cell phones are why they're there, so that they too can enjoy, this mobile experience. Okay, so under accessibility, we got swipe to split. So these are downloaded apps. Okay, we got screen reader, select to speak or talk back. For display, we have the ability, for those of us that may be compromised with our vision, we got font size, display size, bold text. Actually, I like bold text. I like that. Color correction, color inversion, remove animations, large mouse pointer, or high contrast text. Okay. Then under display, we got extra dim screen beyond your phone's minimum brightness. Dark theme will never turn off automatically. Magnification, which is off. Now, interaction controls. We got accessibility menu. Under that, we've got accessibility menu shortcut, and then settings. And then it says the accessibility menu provides a large on-screen menu to control your phone. You can lock your phone, control volume and brightness, take screenshots, and more. Okay. So we got switch access. We'll go to, okay, what is this? Switch access shortcut. Switch access lets you interact with your Android device using one or more switches instead of the touchscreen. Switch access can be helpful if you can't interact directly with your device. Use switches to select items, scroll, type, and more. And so I find that will be a very, very useful tool for somebody that doesn't have the ability to use the touchscreen. Okay. So I think that's a good play for Motorola to have on this device. Now we've got timing controls, we've got touch and hold delay, time to take action, accessibility timeout, and then we got auto click, which is dwell timing. All right, these are timing controls. All right, now we got system controls, system navigation. This is where you can go to and this feature is also under another setting, but it's also here under the accessibility, so you can find it. This is just whether or not you want to choose gesture controls or the 3-button navigation. All right, and we got one-handed mode, that's off. Well, what you do from that is to use one-handed mode, swipe down from the bottom edge of the screen to use this feature. Make sure gesture navigation is turned on in system navigation settings. Okay, and then when it's on, you got pull screen into reach, show notifications, and then the options is one-handed mode shortcut. Okay, I believe that's a shortcut that you can put on like the lock screen or something like that. Okay, we got power button ends calls, and then auto rotate screen. That's under system controls under the accessibility option. All right, then we got vibration and haptic strength. And by the way, the haptic engine on this device is spot on. It feels very premium. It doesn't feel cheap. It's a very strong haptic motor, you know, and it really lets you know, when you're, notifications, when you're, touching keypads or touching the keys on the keypad, it's a very nice vibration feel. Okay, so again, we got vibration and haptic strength, ring vibration, notification vibration, or touch feedback. Ring vibration is off by default. Notification vibration and touch feedback is on by default. Okay. And then for captions, we got live caption, we got caption preferences, audio adjustment, accessibility shortcuts, text to speech output. Those are all the options that we have under the accessibility for those people that may need a little extra assistance with managing and navigating their mobile device. All right. Now, other than that, we've got security, privacy, location, safety and emergency, password and accounts, digital well-being, parental controls, Google system updates, rating and feedback, help system, and about phone. And that is pretty much all you're going to find in the options. Now, if we go to about phone, we will go to the, let's see, where is the software? It says device name Moto Edge Plus 2022. Model Moto Edge Plus, IMI, hardware information, Android 12 or Android version 12. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Just for confirmation, there's the Android 12 little logo right there. So boom, there's your confirmation that we are running Android 12 fresh out of the box. Should be getting a security update pretty soon, or hopefully, because we're still in the February 1st security patch. But yeah, that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen, as far as what I've got to show for the settings menu. Now we'll pop into the camera real quick, and let's see, we've got photo, we've got video, we've got the little 3 lines right here, and I'll zoom in real quick so you guys can get a closer look on that. Okay, these 3 lines are the additional settings. So for photo, we've got portrait, cutout mode, spot color, night vision, cinematograph, panorama, group selfie, ultra res, live filter, pro mode, scan, dual capture. Under video, we've got slow motion, time lapse, spot color, and also dual capture. Okay, now if we go to the settings, we've got AI settings, photo settings, video settings, capture settings, save settings, and about. We've got these little arrows right here to where we can adjust what we want to see. So under AI settings, we've got auto smile capture, gesture selfie, smart composition, smart optimization, Google Lens. Okay. Under photos, we've got rear photo resolution. That's a 12 by 9 megapixel, 50 megapixel quad pixel. Front photo resolution, it's a 15 megapixel. Again, that's the 60 megapixel, also quad pixel. We got rear photo HDR, front photo HDR, selfie photo mirror, watermark. I want watermark on for sure. Okay, that's under the photo settings. All right, now under video, we got efficient videos, stabilization, HDR10, audio zoom. Okay, I like audio zoom. What that does is it amplifies audio in the zoomed area of the viewfinder. So say if I'm at a distance and I see a little bird in the tree, but the bird is chirping, but because of the distance, I may not hear the bird. But if I zoom in on the bird with the phone's camera, then the closer I get to the bird, then the more I'm going to be able to hear those chirps. Just using that as an example. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a huge fan of audio zoom. I like that. All right, now under capture settings. Okay, I didn't want to go to the viewfinder. Capture settings, we've got quick capture, tap anywhere to capture, shutter sound, assistive grid, leveler, which I always like the leveler because what that does, it levels out the photo. So if you've got it kind of crooked or whatever, the leveler is going to make sure that you're holding the camera straight so that you can get that perfect shot at the perfect angle. All right. And then we got keep last mode. So what that is whatever settings that you were on the last time you used your camera, when you open up the camera app, it's going to go right back to those settings without you having to tweak anything. So say if you're a pro mode photographer and you like to go into pro mode and customize your white balance and your shutter speed and customize this, customize that, then what that means is the next time you go into the camera app, those settings are going to be exactly how they were when you left them the last time you were in your camera app. That is super dope. I'm a big fan of that. All right. So that's keep last mode. And it says open the camera with the last used mode active. Okay. So that's what that is. Now, save settings. We've got save location. And then about, we've got play tutorial, help, reset, open source licenses. And that's all we've got for the settings. All right, now this little arrow above the shutter button right there, if you touch that, that is going to take you to controlling your flash, controlling your timer, controlling your active photos, whether or not you want active photos on. That's like live photos on iPhones. It just takes like a couple second video so that it looks like your photos are moving. And then you got aspect ratio. So by default, it's on 3:4. You've got 9:6. And then you got full screen for the viewfinder. But I like to keep it on 3:4. And that's how we rock it. Okay. Here is, you got your quick timer option. Here's your flash. All right. And then this is your Google Lens. Okay. And this is just going to help identify subjects in photos and stuff like that. All right. So that's what that is. All right. Let's get out of Google Lens because I'm not trying to search for anything. All right. Now let's pop back in the camera app. All right, so let me take a picture of something real quick just to test this shutter speed real quick. I'm just gonna get a quick photo of the box here. Okay, shutter speed was nice and quick. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a photo of the box here that I just snapped. You can see right there. Good lighting. This looks super realistic, you know, because of the lighting and, you know, the paint that I've got in. It's kind of got that yellowish hue to it. Now let's flip the camera around and get a selfie with this 60 megapixel beast. Now you see, ladies and gentlemen, now you see this, the leveler. Now when it's yellow, that lets you know that you've got the camera straight on. If you move it to the side a little bit, you see it leveling. That's what the leveler is. If you didn't know what the leveler was, that's what it is. When you've got the phone straight, it's yellow. Okay, so let me get a selfie real quick. Oh man, look at that resolution. My goodness. Okay, you can see too, the selfie camera, it's blinking so you know exactly where to look just in case you're confused because it gets a little dark up in that area. All right, let's see here. Super quick shutter speed. None of that shutter lag that we find on Samsung devices. And actually, I don't really find it to be all that intrusive. You know, I don't want to say that people exaggerate about it, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like people make it seem like it's a bigger deal than what it really is. But I mean, me personally, I've never had any problems taking photos on a Samsung device. And so the shutter lag, it just doesn't bother or affect me and what I'm trying to do with those devices. But since it is a thing, you know, it's good to know that it's instant. As soon as you hit the shutter button, boom, the picture is snapping just like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will be, be happy to hear that. All right. But man, that is a beautiful photo right there. As far as the quality, you know what I'm saying? I mean, never mind the devilishly handsome gentleman that is in the photo. The good Lord clearly didn't make any mistakes when creating this thing right here. You know what I'm talking about? But it's all about the quality of this photo in which we talking about. We ain't talking about me. We talking about the quality of the photo. All right. Real quick, that was what we find in the camera app. Again, I did mention that we've got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in this device. I mean, 8 gigs of RAM. I mean, this device is an absolute powerhouse. And so you could expect it to perform, on par with a lot of other flagship devices that are out there. Okay. And so you could see the OnePlus 10 Pro can now use Verizon 5G and C-band ultra wide. Oh, isn't that sweet? All right. Okay, Motorola is on a roll, rolling out Android 12 for another 5G mid-ranger. Wow, Motorola, man, they moving and shaking. You see? Yeah. So just let's see. We'll pop into YouTube real quick. Okay. All right, and like I said, I don't have any of my applications on the device. I haven't set anything up yet, so I'm just simply going into let's see, YouTube Music. A lot of content here, and as you can see, I mean, it just opens up the app really quickly. I've got so many playlists, music, and it just slices through that app like a hot knife through butter, baby. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't said that one in a minute. Of course, you hold up to get to the recents, and things are just so nice and fluid. You can see, I mean, just right back in the YouTube Music without having to reload. Everything is held very well in the RAM, in the RAM, RAM. All right. We go back to Google. I mean, everything is just right there. Not a problem at all whatsoever. Now, two of my most favorite features on a Motorola device is that twist the wrist to open up the camera, okay? Twist it to flip it from selfie camera to the rear camera, all right? So we'll close that out, and then y'all know what's coming next. Chop chop to turn on that ultra bright LED light on the back of the for the flashlight. So chop chop to turn it off, chop chop to turn it on. Oh man, that is so lovely. You know, look, this may be TMI, which stands for too much information, but I am notorious, ladies and gentlemen, for getting up in the middle of the night to take a little middle of the night urination. And I sleep with the lights off in the bedroom, and there's nothing like waking up at 2 something in the morning, halfway sleep, stumbling to the bathroom, stub your toe on the bedpost or against the wall. It's happened several times. But if I can reach over and grab my trusty Moto Edge Plus 2022, and I ain't got to worry about blinding myself because it's super dark in the room, and then I turn on my screen, which is super bright, just to scroll down to the menu and open up the flashlight. No, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got to do none of that. All I got to do is pick up my device and give it a couple chops and let there be light. And the light shall guide my steps to my destination, and I shall handle my business. Sanitize my hands, and then the light shall guide my steps back to the bed, where I will crash back out until it's time to get up in the motion. You see what I'm talking about? So yeah, man, that is one of my most favorite features with the Motorola devices. Oh, quick capture with the camera and chop chop to turn on that flashlight, baby. Yeah. So that's where I'm going to conclude this unboxing and initial thoughts and impressions and hardware tour, software tour. You guys know that I like to hit you with the whole shebang, you know, just in case if you're considering, you know, getting your hands on this device, I want you to know exactly what you're getting yourself into. That's what I do this for. I make these videos to help you guys make a conscious decision on what your next smartphone purchase is going to be. And the difference between my channel and other channels, not to knock anybody else's channel, because what works for them is what works for them. But what I do is I like to try to provide more of a teaching experience, which is why I go down the settings list and show a lot of different things that you don't see in a lot of other people's video, because I want you to know what you're getting into. I want you to know whether or not this phone has this feature or that feature that you may be looking for. You see, the reason why I'm here is to do a lot of this stuff for you. So with that said, make sure that you keep it locked at Pristine Mobile Tech. You already know, if you like this video, then hit that thumbs up. Be sure to click that notification bell so that every time my videos drop, you know what I'm saying? Old school Beastie Boys, you know what I'm saying? Drop. When my videos drop, you'll get that notification and you can be one of the first to check out the content and get down in the comments section, which is where I'm chilling and posted up at all day, a day. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? And let's talk tech. And the only thing that I ask is that you keep it respectful in the comment section. Okay, respect my mobile tech review or views, and I will respect your mobile tech views, and let's just talk tech peacefully. How's that sound? That sound good to y'all? Do it? Cool, man. That's music to my ears, man. I like that. I like that. All right, so thanks for letting me bend your ear about the Moto Edge Plus 2022 unboxing, first initial thoughts and impressions, hardware tour, software tour, features, functions, a little bit of camera sampling, going through the camera features and settings and all that type of stuff. If you made it to the end of this video, bless you. There are timestamps, so you know what I'm saying? So feel free to jump around the video like House of Pain. Jump around. Jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Jump around the video till you liking, baby, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully I can bless you with the content that you were looking for on this device to help you make an informed decision on whether or not you want to cop this phone or not. All right, but I kind of feel like this phone is gonna be a major, still a couple lines out of Flossie Carter's playbook. I think this phone is gonna be a major go. You know what I'm saying? It's a go, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Never mind the Pixel, never mind OnePlus. Motorola, baby. Motorola. Catch y'all in the next one. You already know. Please stay safe. Get spiritually fit. Because we are definitely living in the last days, and I ain't trying to scare nobody. That's just the reality of the situation. That's the reality. I'm just trying to tell it like it is. You know what I'm saying? I tell it like it is, baby. I'm a realist. We living in them last days. Get spiritually fit today. Don't you push off until tomorrow what you can do today. Why? Because tomorrow ain't promised. You know? And if death were to creep around some unsuspecting corner, you want to be sure that your soul is going to rest for eternity with our Creator. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.